Greetings, folks. This is my comic box recap for March 18th, 2020. Okay, so in my box this week, I got a Spider-Woman lithograph, and it's advertising her animated series from, I think, the 60s or 70s, something like that. Haven't watched it yet. Alright, I also got Dragon Age Blu-ray number 3. This is Mr. DDK's book, not mine. So hopefully he'll read that sometime. And then I got Firefly number 15. I am not reading the Firefly series, just collecting. Now, books that I picked up that I read. Alright, Captain Marvel. I got number 16, and I got the variant. So, because I'm interested in Spider-Woman, because I don't know much about her other than like 2 Spider-Womans that I didn't like. I can't remember. I know there's one for sure that I just didn't like her. So I like Jessica Drew though. Okay, so artwork throughout the book is fine, with one exception, which I'll talk about later. The writing, nothing wrong with the writing. Writing's great, and I'm so happy that we're done with Vox Supreme. Like I said, he's not a villain that I dig very much, so I mean, it's kind of meh. So I'm glad it's done. But she totally pulled a Spider-Man 3 where she uses like a high-pitched like sonic scree sound, which is what it is, and it destabilizes the barf suit and also him. Like, it causes him extreme pain, and I'm like, man, it's like the plot of a movie. Oh wait, it is Spider-Man 3. That's how he gets the symbiote off of him. But yeah, so she gets the suit off. Yay, no more barf suit, because that was gross. And she goes in with Cap's shield. Whoops, there we go. She goes in with Cap's shield, and she's trying to keep him distracted because the Avengers, who she did not kill, were leaving Singularity and going to rescue the people who had bombs in them, the Kree refugees. And she has to keep Vox Supreme busy so he doesn't notice what's going on. Well, there's a moment in here, it just about made me cry. Cap is handing her his shield. He talks about how the rest to be up to her. If he realizes what we're doing and detonates them before we can find these bombs, none of this is going to matter. So he's basically telling her, you know, this is you. This is all on you. You know, you're the one we're depending on. And he says, I think you're going to need this more than I will, and hands her to his shield. Well, she goes in to fight Vox Supreme, and this is why I relate to her. She says, name of the game is to keep him busy and unable to detonate the bombs, and give the rest of the team the time they need to be heroes. Girl, you are a hero too. Like, probably the biggest hero for doing this. This is like a self-sacrificing moment. But she keeps him busy, and they rescue the Kree. They're actually in kids. He put the bombs in kids. So that was a way to tie in current events into comics without coming out and saying it. So kudos, good job on that. You know, because I don't like literally taking real world scenarios and putting them in superhero books. So the roundabout way like that is fine. I actually like it because it kind of makes people think about it more. But anyway, alright, so she gets dosed with this goop that Vox Supreme has been making, and it turns her into this monstrosity thing. And so he wasn't just taking the DNA, he was taking their memories too. So she now has like all these voices in her head now. It's like all the Avengers in her head. And excuse me. And she's having trouble beating him. You know, because she starts to throw up. And so as she throws up, it's like purging poison. So she's losing all the powers and stuff that she got from it. Well, she has a little bit of Thor left in her head, and she's able to call Mjolnir which is pretty cool. I liked it. It was a good moment. It was a moment Vox Supreme was not expecting. And Hulk smashes with Cap's shield and Thor's hammer and takes out Vox Supreme. So you always have to expect the unexpected, or else you might lose. So she's trying to figure out how to purge the rest of the poison. So she burns it out, and she can't hold Mjolnir anymore. And that kind of makes me sad, because if anybody is worthy enough to hold Mjolnir, it's her. So that's how I feel anyway. But yeah, the Avengers kind of forgive her. I'm sure it's going to come up again later. But all is right in the world again. And there's a nice moment with her and Chewie. Excuse me. Got a frog in my throat. Chewie drops his food dish. Or her. I think it's been a boy and a girl. I don't know. Chewie drops a food dish on Carol's head. You know, being a cat, it's cute. So can't wait to see what's coming up next for Captain America. I'm glad the story arc is done. And like I said, nothing wrong with the writing or the art. I just didn't like the bad guy, so it wasn't that interesting to me. But the main gripe that I have is the same as last time. Can we please get rid of the brick in the bikini? This is not She-Hulk, guys. I'm sorry, guys, gals, people, folks. This is not... That's not She-Hulk. That is a poor attempt at redoing Hulk. So, that's not She-Hulk. I don't appreciate it. I want my articulate, intelligent, pleasant looking She-Hulk back. And when I say pleasant looking, I don't mean sexy. I mean, she looks feminine. That one does not. Again, that looks like somebody made Hulk into a brick and put a bikini on him. And I don't appreciate it at all. The only thing that makes her look not like Hulk is her long hair. So, yeah. I don't like that She-Hulk at all. That She-Hulk is terrible. I want my PTSD gray She-Hulk back, actually. I'd rather have that one than any of them. But if I have to have one, I will take the gray PTSD one because I really relate to that one. Or classic looking She-Hulk. I mean, give me one of those. I'm so sick of seeing the brick in the bikini. I don't like it. It offends my eyes. Anyway. Alright. Moving on. I got Spider-Woman #1. So, I've never read any Spider-Woman comics, and the only interaction I've had with the character as far as reading has been in Spider-Man or Captain Marvel. I like Jessica Drew. Jessica Drew's cool. There was a Spider-Woman that I didn't like, and I don't remember which one it was. But anyway, so Jessica, and I don't know who the guy is because I didn't keep up with Spider-Woman. I'm assuming this is her baby's dad. I don't know. But so they're having money trouble. And she decides to go hero for hire. But because she's going hero for hire, she doesn't want to wear her traditional suit. So she gets a new one made. Which is pretty cool looking, actually. I really like it. But someone else hired the suit maker to do it. And now they're tracking her and watching her vitals and everything. Well, that makes me think that they're involved in what happened. Because she takes a job where she has to be security for the 16-year-old's birthday party. The 16-year-old's the daughter of a big pharmaceutical guy. So, rich. There's like several groups of people trying to kidnap her. One is a group of Frenchmen in a helicopter. And I'm like, wow, that's not action movie at all. But hey, I don't care. I'll take it. Anyway, there's a kid. After, she gets done beating up bad guys. The first group of bad guys. There's a kid who's a prick, and he says, I knew I shouldn't have come to the stupid cripple's birthday party. He actually says that. And Jessica's like, you know how to swim, kid? and he cusses at her, and she throws him in the ocean. Good. I like that part. So she does not have any tolerance for people who are not nice. I like her. Go along with some more fighting here, and then the helicopter Frenchmen show up. Well, she says she thinks they're Frenchmen. She's using the anchor and trying to pull the anchor up to throw at the helicopter, and that kid is out in the water complaining about how everybody's gonna die, and she's like, "You're not gonna die." And he goes, "What would you know? You're a girl." Well, okay. So after she, pulls the helicopter down out of the sky into the ocean, she picks up the kid and hurls him at a bad guy. Okay, I love Jessica Drew. This is great. I love this book. This book is awesome. So she definitely has morals and standards, and I highly appreciate that. So, but I think her level of hatred and intolerance might be tied to her not feeling well. And she talks about not feeling well through the whole thing, in the beginning. And she barfs up this, really terrible looking green stuff. And this is how she leaves off. And it says something about the night nurse will see you now. So in the next issue, we're probably going to see Night Nurse, which is cool. I like Night Nurse. She's an interesting character. So it'd be even better if they use the version of her from the Netflix series. But yeah, okay. So I dug the story. I dug the art. The art reminds me of the 90s comics that were not super crazy. So, which I love super crazy 90s comics, but this reminds me of the more normal 90s art. So that's good. But anyway, alright, so one more thing I want to talk about before I close this video out. And I know this video has gone over 12 minutes now, and I'm sorry. There's a comic from Absolute Comics Group, and I read it, and it's called White Widow. I started reading this little thing up here, it tells you a little bit of the history of Spider-Woman. It says, when she was a child, her father rescued her from a fatal illness using a serum of irradiated spider biomaterial. The concoction not only cured her, it granted her adhesive fingertips and toes, enhanced speed and agility, a high concentration of pheromones, and the ability to fire biokinetic venom blast. Okay, so this is where Spider-Woman comes from. Spider-Woman obviously has been around longer than White Widow. That sounds an awful lot like White Widow. So why did they do that? And I'm not talking about Marvel and Spider-Woman. Why did the person who created White Widow do that? That's way too close. Yeah, I mean, a lot of superheroes have fell into a radioactive vat of whatever. I got sprayed with radioactive goop. I got, exposed to radioactive rays. A lot of superheroes have similar origins. But that's kind of hyper-specific. Because White Widow had a fatal illness, and her father used a serum to cure her, and it was spider material. So, yeah. I mean, there's a little bit more to White Widow later, but her original thing sounds an awful lot like that. So, I'm debating on whether or not I still want to read that book now. Because I did not realize how close it was to Spider-Woman's origins. And I'm sorry, but I like Spider-Woman a little better than White Widow. So, but even if I didn't, even if I liked White Widow better, that's too close for me, and Spider-Woman came first. So, there may not be any more White Widow content. Because, yeah, I don't like that. That's way too close. But the Spider-Woman book was great. Loved it. And that's probably my favorite of the two this week. And I'm going to tell you right now, the only reason I didn't like this more than this one is because the way that She-Hulk looked and talked was way too distracting. And I'm not kidding. Like, I mean, I'm sitting here reading my book and I'm like, oh my God, it's a brick in a bikini. Okay. And then, this is not She-Hulk. She-Hulk doesn't do this. Where Tony tells her to be careful and she goes, Hulk knows. That's not She-Hulk. She-Hulk doesn't do that. Like, even when she was PTSD, she spoke a little bit more articulate than that. But, I don't know if the decision to make She-Hulk like that is coming down from big people at Marvel, or if it's the writer of Captain Marvel. And I hope it's not Captain Marvel writer who's doing that. Kelly Thompson, I think. Hang on, I might have just said did a bad. No, it is. It's Kelly Thompson. So, I don't know if it's her decision to do that or if it's Marvel's. I mean, it's nothing as a writer. She does really good work. So, love her work. But please, if you see this video and you're the one writing Captain Marvel and you're writing She-Hulk like that, please hear me out. I don't like it. Everyone I know doesn't like it. So, it hurts. Like, it hurts me here because I related and connected to that character. Now she's awful. So, anyway. Alright, well, that's it for this comic box recap. March 18th, 2020. Live long, prosper, and glory for the Empire. Kapla!